Hilltop. I wanna know. Yes, yeah. I wanna know. Save you. Selassie.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sass, and today I'm back with another cooking video. Can you guys believe that I'm back with another cooking video? Like, who knew that this channel would take a turn, a whole 360, and will become some type of cook show? Because I didn't know, but I'm here for it all the same. This recipe, what I have learned, I didn't write it down, so I've kind of like tried to remember it in my head. Fingers crossed that I get it right, but I'm gonna try. We're gonna make some cheesy beef patties. Well, we're gonna try to make some cheesy beef patties. So give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, and drop me a comment for anything else you want me to make, because you know we're out here trying new things. Why the hell not? So yeah, anyway, let's get on to it. Right, so for the pastry, we're going to need flour. This is, in here we have plain flour. This is just not plain flour. We have turmeric powder. We have some curry powder. And we have Maggie Cube. Also, we need some butter and some shortening. Let me get that. So I'm going to be using this Trex, which is like a form of, it's shortening basically, so it's lighter than butter. I don't know, I actually don't know what the difference is. It's just vegetable fat, I suppose. And we've got some unsalted butter. It's from Tesco. And then we need 1 teaspoon of sugar and half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to get a bowl, we're going to put these all in. I'll tell you the measurements and stuff. We'll put it all in and then we'll get to mixing. So bear with me. So I've got this little cup. This is like the rice cooker measurement. And we need 3.5 cups of plain flour. Excuse the wash machine. That's 1. Right, so that's 3.5 cups of plain flour, and then we need 1 teaspoon of curry powder, I can't actually find a teaspoon, so I'm going to use my niece's spoon for her milk. So we use one of the, level it off, curry powder, and then we need 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, and this is what gives it the goldeny colour. I think I'll just add a little bit more, so 2.5. That's the turmeric powder. And then we need like a bouillon cube or a stock cube, but I'm going to use Maggie Cube. I'll use one of these. It looks like this. And I literally just break it into the, let me move this down a little. Oopsie, no, don't drop. You just break up little pieces of it. It's not perfect, but it'll be fine once I that's that. And then we need sugar. 1 teaspoon of sugar going in. Then we need half a teaspoon of salt. The salt in there. And then I'm just gonna like mix it all together with my hands. I've taken my ring off because somebody was saying to me the last time, oh my god, you've got your ring on in the video, what if it gets in the food, blah blah blah. I'm the only one eating the food, me and my family, so it's alright. But for just for this purpose, I'm taking it off. So I'm just mixing this all up like this. My hands are a mess, but it's fine. So it looks like this. Now I'm going to add the shortening and the butter. I'm going to use half of each, but I'm just going to wash my hands. So this is what the shortening looks like. And then this is how much butter I'm going to use as well. So literally I'm just going to slice it into smaller pieces so it's easier to work with, because you're going to be working the butter in with your hands. So I've literally just chopped it up like this, and I'm just going to put them all in, pop them in. And I'm going to cut this shortening to about here and put that in as well. Oh, it's all breaking up, like it's breaking to pieces. I'm going to put that in there as well. Just bear in mind it's a very messy process and your hands do get stained. Look, my hands are already stained and I've only literally just rubbed in a little bit. So I'm literally just breaking it all up. This butter has to be cold. So you just basically make it into like a crumble consistency. I just give it a good squeeze together. And as you can see, the colour starts to form. And you just try and work all the butter into, to make sure all the butter is worked in to the flour. And then you're gonna need 1 cup of ice cold water to just bind it all together. And you can see this is how it's looking. It's looking a bit lumpy, but once I've worked it all in, it will look a little bit crumbly. So this is how you want it to look. You want it to look somewhat like this, like crumble. And then you're going to add in the cold water. I'll just give it another little. You add in the cold water. Right, so I'm going to add in like maybe this much of the cold water. You just want to mix it all together so it all is together. You don't want to overwork it because you still want it to be quite flaky. So you're just trying to mix it all together into like a dough form. This is the bit where your hands get really, really yellow. You can see it's getting stiff. So I'm going to take away the spoon and I'm going to use my hand and work it together. If it's too wet, just add a little bit more flour. You want it to be in like a dough consistency, well, like a ball kind of. You see it's coming together? And then once it's like this, as you don't want to overwork it, as I said, you just make it like this, and then you just put it in cling film and you put it in the fridge for 15 to 20 minutes to make that set. I'm just going to get all the edges on in there as well because I don't want to waste any of the dough. So this is what it's looking like, and I'm going to wrap it in cling film and put it in the fridge for 15 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to start with the meat. So yeah, that'll be the next step. So this is it wrapped in the cling film, and it's about to go in the fridge for 20 minutes. Right, so we have the chopped vegetables. We have orange pepper, red pepper, onions, scallion and thyme. And we have the mince, which has been washed. Yes, we wash our meat. And we're going to season it. We're going to use little all-purpose seasoning, Raja. And we're just going to eyeball it. Can't even see. Fix that. We'll use a little bit of that, and then we're going to use a little bit of the Maggie seasoning, which is my favourite. This one, Maggie seasoning up, all-purpose, is my favourite. And we're just going to we're going to actually measure this one because the last time we used too much of it. We just use this much and put in here like that. Give it a little mix. And then we're going to fry off these and then add this. Gonna put a little bit of chilli powder. And you want to coarse black pepper. So you just leave this cooking for about 5 to 7 minutes until some of this juices like dry up a little bit. And then once that's done, you just set that aside, and then you can take the dough out of the fridge and start rolling it. So we first put down some flour so that the dough doesn't stick to the surface. Once we place it down, we add a little bit more flour on top, and then we just gonna cut it in half and start the rolling process. So we get a bowl and we place it on top of the dough, and we just cut around it to form the circle shape that we need to make the patties. And the dough should make about 6 to 8 of these, depending on the size of your bowl. So you add a piece of cheese down on top of it, and then you add the mince, not all the way, just halfway, so it's easier for you to fold it over. You fold it over, press it down with your fingers, and then you take a fork, which then you just press it down, and that makes a pattern. So these are the patties. They're ready for the oven. I'm going to put them in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'm going to take them out and we will do a taste test. So I just took them out of the oven, and some of them have overspilled. This one kind of burnt a little bit, but I still think they look good, and I'm going to taste one. Oh my god, look at my hair. I opened the oven and it was puffed out. So this is the inside of my patty. See the cheese and the beef. That tastes good. Great. Oh, cheese beef. Cheesy beef. That's nice. Really nice. Taste it.